Assalamu alaikum students, I hope you all are doing well. Today's topic is real numbers and its properties. Firstly, we are going to do real numbers and then we will move towards properties of real numbers. Let's read the definition first. Real numbers. The definition says real numbers can be defined as the union of both rational and irrational numbers. They can be both positive or negative and are denoted by the symbol R. All the natural numbers, decimals, and fractions come under this category. All the arithmetic operations can be performed on these numbers and they can be represented in the number line. So basically, in simpler words, or you may say in the simplest terms, real numbers are all the numbers of this world. Means all the types of numbers which exist in maths are included in the real numbers. So real numbers are the superset of all the number types. Superset of all the numbers, okay? As they have mentioned here, that natural numbers, decimals, fractions, rational, irrational, integers, whole numbers, all the numbers are included in what? Real numbers. So these are the real numbers. It is really easy that what are the real numbers. So we have understood now that what are the real numbers, and now we are moving towards properties of real numbers. Okay, so we have four main properties of real numbers. Number one is commutative property, second is associative property, third is distributive property, and fourth is identity property. Okay, one thing I missed here is that symbol of the real number. Real numbers are shown by R. R represents real numbers. Okay, so let's continue our types of properties of real numbers. So we have four properties: commutative, associative, distributive, and identity. For describing these properties, we are taking three numbers m, n, and r as real numbers, so that we can explain these properties by using these three numbers, these three real numbers m, n, and r. Okay, so the first one is commutative property. If m and n are the numbers or the real numbers, then the general form will be of what? Commutative property. General form of commutative property will be m plus n is equal to n plus m for addition. So there are commutative property for two things: addition and multiplication. For addition, the form will be m plus n is equal to n plus m, and for commutative property of multiplication, m into n means product of m into n is equal to n into m. Let's clarify this with an example. Actually, what does it say? Let's do it for addition first. What does commutative property says of real number? For addition, it says that if you add n to m or you add m to n, it doesn't make any difference for the resultant value. Means changing the order of the numbers for an operation, means for addition, it will not change the value of the result. The resultant or the sum will always be the same, whatever the order of the values will be. Okay, so means if you are adding n to m or adding m to n, it doesn't make any difference. Value or the sum or the resultant value will be the same for both of the cases, m plus n or n plus m. Let's do it with an example. Example is here that we are adding 3 to 5, means 5 plus 3. And in second case, for right hand side what we are doing, we are adding 5 into 3 or 3 plus 5. So both will give us same value, and the value will be what? 8. Okay, it will produce 8 and it will produce 8. Sum will be 8 for both of the sides. Left side will be equal to the right side. Second example is 2 plus 4 or 4 plus 2 or 4 plus 2. Resultant will be same, 6. Both will give us the same value, or the sum of the values will be same. So it was the commutative property for addition. Now we are going to do commutative property for multiplication. So here is commutative property for multiplication. Same thing is here, but the operation is different. Multiplication sign will be there, multiplication operation will be performed, the product will be produced. Okay, if you are multiplying n with m or you are multiplying m with n, it will not cause any difference to the product of the values. Okay, values on both the sides, left hand side and right hand side will be the same. For example, if you multiply 3 with 5 or 5 with 3, both will produce 15. 5 is 15 and 3 5 is 15. Okay, means the product will be same in spite of changing the order of the values. 2 into 4 will produce 8 and 4 into 2 will produce 8. Okay, so this was the commutative property for multiplication. Now we have the second property of real numbers, that is associative property. Commutative property was the first one. Now we are going to do the second, associative property. Okay, let's read the definition. The definition for associative property is, if m, n and r are the numbers or the real numbers, the general form will be m plus n plus r is equal to m plus n plus r. This is for addition. And for multiplication, what does it say? What does associative property says is m into n into r or n into r into m. They both will produce the same value. So let me clarify, what does it mean? It means that for addition, if you are adding second and third value first and then to that sum you are adding the first value, it will produce the same sum as on the right side by adding the first and second value, and then to that sum of first and second value you are adding the third value. So the sum on both left and right side will be the same. This is the property. This is the associative property for addition of real numbers. Let us do it with an example. Example is given here. This is, you are adding second and third value 3 plus 2, and then you are adding the first value to the sum of second and third value. It is for the left side. It will produce what? It will produce 15. It will sum up to 15. And then on the right side, what is done? First means 10 and 3. First and second value are sum up, and then the third value is added to that. 10 plus 3 13, and then plus 2 15. So they both on the left and the right side are producing the same value, the same sum, that is 15. So this is the associative property for addition. Now we are going to do the associative property for multiplication. The concept is same, that you are firstly operating first two numbers mn on the left side, and then you are multiplying the third number with the product of mn. And on the right side, what you are going to do, you are going to perform multiplication operation on the second and third value nr, and then you are going to multiply the first value m with that nr. So they will produce the same product. The example is here. You are multiplying 2 and 3, that will produce 6. 2 3s are 6, and then 6 4s are 24. And on the right side, 3 4s are 12, and 12 into 2 24. So they both are producing the same product, that is 24. So this was the multiplication associative property for multiplication of real numbers. Let's move towards the third property of real numbers, that is distributive property. Distributive property says, for three numbers m, n and r which are real in nature, the distributive property is represented as m into n plus r. This is the left side. This is left hand side. On left hand side, what is being done? The second and third number are added to each other, n plus r, and then that sum of n plus r, second and third number, is being multiplied with the first number m. It will generate a value. Okay, a value will be generated by it. on the right hand side, and that value will be equal to the right hand side. And how the right hand side is operated? Here this m is multiplied by mn, and then this plus sign comes here, and then this m is being multiplied with mr. So mn plus mr will produce the same value as n plus r will multiplied with m. Okay, so this is the distributive property for real numbers. It can be written as in two ways. The first way is this one, okay, that the first number is being multiplied with the sum of second and third. And the second way is to write them like here. You are adding first two numbers mn, and then this sum is being multiplied with the third number, and then obviously this r will be multiplied with m, this r will be multiplied with n, and then the addition or plus sign will come in between, mr plus nr. Okay, so these are the two ways to write this distributive property or prove this distributive property. Let me number them. This is the first way and this is the second way. Okay, let us do it with an example by using the first way. Okay, so in the first way, 5 is m, 2 plus 3 are n plus r. 2 plus 3 will be 5, 5 into 5 will be 25. Here 5 is multiplied by 2 and then plus sign, and then 5 is being multiplied with 3. 5 into 2 10 plus 5 into 3 15. So the both will produce what? 25. 5 5 is 25 and 10 plus 15 25. So the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. Okay, they both yield what? 25. Okay, you may want to do it with the second way, so let me do it for you. The second way is m plus n into r. So m was 5 plus 2 into 3 is equal to mr, means 5 into 3 plus 2 into 3. They will produce what? 5 plus 2 7. 7 into 3 is equal to 5 3 is the 15 plus 2 3 is the 6, 7 3 is the 21, 15 plus 6 21. So they both are producing the same value, means 21 21. But with the first way we got 25 on both the sides, left hand side and right hand side, and with the second way of distributive property we got a same value on both the side. Obviously the property will be proven, but we are getting the different values here, 21 21, and in the first way we got 25. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let us move to the last property of real numbers, that is identity property. This is very easy. There are additive and multiplicative identities. Let me clear the board first. Okay, so what's written here? There are additive and multiplicative identities for addition. Let me clear the concept first. What does identity property mean? Identity property is that property in which the identity of the value will remain the same. If a value was 3, it should remain 3. If the value was 1000, it should remain 1000. By using what? Identity property. And they both are different for addition and multiplication. Obviously, for addition, m plus 0 is equal to m. 0 is the additive identity. For multiplication, m into 1 is equal to 1 into m is equal to m. 1 is the multiplicative identity. So what is the concept here? The concept is, if you add 0, that is additive identity. If you add 0 to any number, if you add 0 to 0, 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1000 or 10,000 or any value, million, billion, the value will remain the same. 0 will not have any influence or effect on that value, because 0 is additive identity. It will not change the value to which it is added. Okay, And for multiplication, 1 is the multiplicative identity, because whatever the value is, when you multiply that value with 1, the value doesn't change, the value remains same, means the identity is maintained of that value. When the identity is maintained for addition or multiplication, it is called identity property for addition or identity property for multiplication, respective to what you are doing, if you are adding 0 or you are multiplying a value with 1. So this is the identity property. So in today's lecture, what we have done, we have seen the real numbers first, that what are the real numbers. So real numbers are all the numbers included in the mathematics: whole number, natural number, or decimals, rational numbers, irrational numbers. What is whatever the type of the number is, it is included in the real numbers. Okay, the set of real number contains all the set of all the other types of numbers, means real number set is a superset that contains a subset of all the types of other numbers. And then we saw the properties of real numbers. There were 4 properties: commutative property, then associative, then distributive, and then identity property. I hope the lecture is clear, but if still you have any confusion or query, you can tell me in the comment section. I will help you resolve that. And if you like the video, kindly like, comment and share, and kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.